build up those relationships and build up those contacts and let the people know, hey, listen, we are securing property. We just want to make sure that we have people to fill the homes when we actually, get the property.
You turn the whole house into bedrooms and you rent by the room. Anything like that is going to be, successful.
Number one, the one we're talking about today, is what, Kim?
Senior housing.
Traditional real estate investing is dead. Robert Kiyosaki and Ken McElroy think this is the solution.
The number one investment in real estate.
Be sure to watch until the end to uncover just how lucrative this housing solution can be.
Now that you've kind of gone through the process, do you see why we recommend most people to start kind of doing the marketing and what you've been doing before you go out there and get a property?
Absolutely. Absolutely. That's the smartest way. Because you don't want to get the property and then have it sit while you build, because it takes a little while, like you all had said in the course. It takes a little while to build up that relationship with these agencies. Um, so you do need a little time. And I think that's very smart how you all tell us to do that. Build up those relationships and build up those contacts and let the people know, hey, listen, we are securing property. We just want to make sure that we have people to fill the homes when we actually, get the property.
Yeah. So this is a very realistic glimpse into what a lot of the folks out there will probably need to do, especially if they're, working full time, they don't have a big budget, or they don't have a team already to be doing all the back end stuff that we kind of talk about in the Gold Course. So very realistic game plan for you guys that you can follow out here. Okay. So you started marketing in May, and then it looked like it took a couple months before you were confident enough or felt like, all right, I have all these contacts, they're booking calls with me. They're probably are that were you starting to get follow-up calls from your contacts like, hey, do you have a property yet? Because I need to place somebody. Were you starting to get inquiries like that?
I was getting emails. And
Yeah.
that's when they were starting to give me names and tell me, oh, so and so with their family. And this is when I had to filter down the conversation and let them know that we're just doing single adults, and kind of just reiterate to them, so that they know that this is, our ideal guest. But
Hmm.
yeah, I was definitely getting a few emails to say that we have so and so in mind. And yeah, so mhm.
So I recommend people to do kind of go through that process till they feel like, all right, I need to get a property. So it looks like that hit you in August.
Yes, that's exactly where I got to where, because you can only tell them I'm getting the property for so long. Started DMing people in August. This is when I really I had spoke to maybe 3 or 4 agencies in PG County. I had already talked to some agencies in Anne Arundel County. And I had talked to some agencies in Baltimore. So I had like 3 areas. Oh, in Montgomery County, I had 1 or 2 agencies with a need out there. So at this point in time, I was starting to feel, definitely more confident. Like, especially out in PG County, it's time to start talking to the investors, because I figured it was still going to take a little time to start marketing to them to actually get the house. So I was trying
Yeah.
to time it for October.
It didn't take that long. It doesn't. So the post was 2 weeks ago. So it was only a couple weeks of looking for investors, it sounds like, before you found one that wanted to partner with you.
Yeah. Yeah,
Beautiful.
he was like on my first round.
All right, beautiful. So again, let's go back to the Gold Course. So we have like we've talked about these marketing calls. You guys can listen to them in the Gold Course to kind of hear, live marketing calls, kind of hear how they are. Then we have this stuff in here about how to work with investors, basically. We have a really good longer webinar that kind of breaks down how to find them, what to say to them, and stuff like that. And that's what you started to do in August. It sounds like you were DMing them. So where were you finding the investors?
On Facebook, in the real estate groups local to me.
Nice. Yeah, we recommend. Did you go to any of the meetups in person, or were you kind of held back from the by the job to do that?
Both. I did go out to the RIA meetings, exactly, meetup.com.
Yeah.
I went to a couple meetings, and what I found, there wasn't, I think Corona kind of changed everything. Like back in the day when we were going to the RIA meetings, there were more people, and then I think people just got used to doing it online. There's a couple real estate groups, but then with work, sometimes that gets in the way because they do have, like, when I filter on there, I'm just looking for like in-person
Yeah.
groups. I'm not so much of an online person. I think online because I'm DMing people, but those groups, I feel like you have to meet people in person, um, as opposed to, because if they have the meeting online, it's hard to message that person during the meeting, as opposed to if I meet you in a group on Facebook, I can DM you, and then if you're interested, we can talk offline. These groups, and I've seen her, yes, yes, that is
This
one
is
of
the
the
one.
groups
This is
that
the
I
one
have.
I would go to. So they usually do them at like restaurants or bars. Sometimes
Yeah.
there's some munchies. You could tell a lot of people go to it.
Mhm.
Uh, this is the one that I would go to, but
Okay.
might be held
And
back
I've
by the schedule.
Yeah, and that's exactly it. Because I've seen this group. I've seen this group. And you're right. And then that's something like that I would definitely be um open to. And this is why I'm doing this, because I want to be able to do the networking like this.
Yeah.
Because if you're going to, I'm trying to free up my time and get off the cart so that I can, because this is going to be the biggest thing, going to these groups and networking with the investors, and then two, letting people see your face, because sometimes you got to go to the group and then you got to check out who the players are. So you
Yep.
got to go a couple times to see who are the real people who have the properties and let them see you so that they know, oh, okay, just what is it like? You're just building up over time as people see you.
Yeah,
And
you'll build not just the landlords, but you can find people that do loans, so people that actually do financing, construction folks, wholesalers, so you can find off market deals. Uh, this is where you can really find a large segment of your team if you are looking to kind of scale and grow like a full blown organization. So, uh, and I can tell you the response has definitely changed over the past couple of years. I remember when I first this was back in the wholesaling days, so probably like 7 or 8 years ago, something like that. I remember being at a meetup and somebody pitched this. Like, when you go, well, sometimes you go around like the room and you give your little elevator pitch.
yeah,
I didn't know what the guy was talking about, but I remember it now. Like he definitely was talking about something similar to what we do. And the, the investors like laughed at him. It was brutal. I felt so bad for the guy. Now, when I went to one recently in Dallas and told people what I do, I had a line of people that wanted to talk to me. They've all heard about it. They're all curious about it. There's so many advantages to this type of investing compared to the typical landlord thing that when they see somebody like you that wants to operate the business or they talk to you on Facebook, I bet you they're pretty pumped to hear more about what you were doing.
yeah. Actually, the message that I send, because actually, I have another call. I have a new investor who responded to my DM today, so we'll be talking after this call.
Oh,
And
beautiful.
yeah, he's a real estate investor, he said, and he knew about kind of this model, and he had been wanting to do something like this. So he said he's definitely open to having a conversation with me as well. So investors are very open to it. I actually had a call with another like I was telling you in the email, the head of one of the local RIAs out here, he is familiar with the concept. They're having someone come in and talk to their group. It's more of a corporate site though. I think he was saying SharePad or something like that. Where
Pathfinder.
yes,
Yep.
yes, yeah, yeah. So that's more on a national level. I'm trying to do more local, but they're already aware of the concept. And he was saying that he had left rentals alone for a while, but he's thinking of getting back into rentals, and he would be open to, you know, working with me and kind of me doing I'm offering. You just get the property, let me put the people in there, let me do the tenant placement. And then also with this demographic, I would check on them and things like the other things. Because this is what I'm telling the investors. Like, hey, listen, you know, I have a background in nursing. In my opinion, especially when you're working with the seniors, the veterans, and the disabled adults, you just can't put them in the house and leave them alone. You're still gonna have to
No,
check on.
absolutely not. That's
Yeah.
where you hear like a lot of nightmare stories from.
Want to learn more about the future real estate? Sign up for your free training material at www.grouphomeriches.com.